Remember that teaser in the Fear of God Essentials Fall Winter 2022 lookbook video when I said, hey, I have an interesting video on the Fear of God California soon? Well, here it is. And this video is less about me, more about the fact I think I found the closest one-to-one on the market for the California.
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl TJ back, another video on Talks with TJ, and today I'm comparing the Fear of God California to the Saint Morta Flow Slide. That's right, I picked this up on Culture Kings. The link will be down in the description box, but let's not waste any time. I want to go through a full breakdown of both shoes, the similarities, the differences, and the price difference. Question: is there a true one-to-one of the Fear of God California, which is a singular foam piece that's a mule for your foot? It's easy to dress up, dress down. You can rock it with sweats, you can rock it with slacks, you can rock it with shorts, doesn't matter. And as soon as it hit the scene, listen, people truly into the Fear of God brand flocked to them. They sold out. They've gone on sale a few times, and I've been fortunate enough to pick them up in 3 different colorways. So this is cement, this is almond, and this is oat. And in terms of sizing, I actually had to get 2 different sizes to just kind of test them out. So this is the 37. I went down 1 size from my true size, which would have been a 38, and it fits. I have room in the toe box, so in truth it fits more like a men's 7 on me versus a men's 6, and I'm usually a true men's 6. The 36 is technically going 2 sizes down. It's the perfect fit lengthwise, but I actually had to go ahead and widen this a little bit, and I have a breakdown of that on a video here on the channel. So we have the Fear of God California. It's a great pair to dress up, dress down. I love it. I wear it way more than so many of my shoes. But is there an alternative? Is there something on the market that will give you close to this same aesthetic but at a lower price? And yes, you absolutely have that. So let's take a look at the Saint Morta Flow Slide from Culture Kings. Okay, so for the box, it's a traditional shoe box in matte black. We have the glossy finish there for Saint Morta branding on the top, and the smallest size available is a 7. So unfortunately, if you can't make a 7 work, I'm terribly sorry. That is the smallest they offer. So it's called the Flow Slide. I picked this up in 2 different colorways, ivory and then also in the gray colorway. Here's the ivory, here's the gray. So if you were just a casual person viewing these, would you really know that they're not the same thing? I'll be honest with you, no. A casual person just seeing these on foot, I don't think they would have any idea. So let's break down the similarities and the differences. Up top, we have the Saint Morta Flow Slide. On the bottom, we have the Fear of God California. And just looking immediately, you can see that the midsole is not as thick on the Flow Slide as the California. And we'll get to fit and comfort a little bit later on in the video, but you have a little bit more thickness here in the midsole for the California versus the Flow Slide. Also, take a look at this back heel. It comes up, it's much more pronounced on the Flow Slide versus on the California. And I'll also give you guys a back view so you can see how much higher this comes up versus on the California. As you can see, the branding on the back, it is cleaner. I will absolutely say it's cleaner here with Fear of God raised versus Saint with the box around it. I just think having the text there versus the box, it is a cleaner aesthetic, at least to me. If we take a top-down look, branding is very identical on the interior. So stamped in, you have Fear of God made in Italy. You also have Saint Morta made in China. And then in terms of the opening, so much wider opening here versus on the California. So I think, you know, that will if you prefer one or the other, that may depend on your foot and the way that it's shaped, if it's wider or more narrow, but the opening is wider here on the Flow Slide. And then looking down in terms of the angle, so I will say that I think they're actually really, really close in terms of angle. This one may actually go out a little bit more here on the sides, but just top down, if you were to stare at these, you honestly couldn't tell the difference. Vents are also different. So the shape on the Flow Slide, it's just a straight rectangle. If you look at the California, it is angled. Now, ventilation is an issue for a lot of people, no matter what, because it is a singular piece of light foam. So I would advise you wear socks, otherwise your feet will probably get extremely hot and overheat, and it will sweat because it's just a singular piece of foam. So keep that in mind. But it'll have a vent on the side, and it's angled and shaped differently. And then if we flip these over, you can see the tread pattern is different, but to me still very, very similar. Now, this uses just, EVA foam. This is used or constructed with extra light foam as listed on the Fear of God website. So now that you've seen them side by side, let's talk about sizing. I'll go ahead and put the Fear of God California size chart here, and you can see that it's a little confusing just because the Fear of God California will run like a size larger than your regular EU size, and even the sizing for men to women to kids is a little bit off as well. But I have a 37 here in the Fear of God California in oat, and then a size 7 in the Flow Slide. And if we take a look, they are pretty much 1 for 1 in terms of sizing. So going down one size in the Fear of God California fits me as if I were going up a size in any other shoe to a men's 7. Actually picking up a men's 7 in the Flow Slide, it fits me like a men's 7. So I would say go true to size if you intend to pick up the Flow Slide. Okay, let's go back to the very first clip of this video. I actually wore one of each on foot. So we have the Saint Morta Flow Slide on one foot and the Fear of God California on the other, the Flow Slide in ivory and the California in oat. The aesthetic on foot is uncanny. It really looks like a 1 for 1 on foot. Now, if we're talking comfort, I think due to the thicker midsole on the California, it is slightly more comfortable. It provides a little more cushion as you stand in them and wear them. But overall, it's not such a vast difference that the common consumer would say, hey, I'll pay $140 more for the California. That's just my personal opinion. Here we have the Saint Morta Flow Slide in gray and the Fear of God California Slide in oat. And keep in mind, the gray slide runs a little larger, at least just for the pair I bought from the ivory slide. So I actually have flat socks on the inside of the gray slide and then just regular socks. For sizing, going true to size in the Saint Morta Flow Slide seems to be the best thing. Again, the men's 7 fits me like a true 7, and I'm traditionally a men's 6 or a 6.5, so I expect it to run a little larger on my foot because I went up a whole size. So I would say go true to size if you decide to pick up the Flow Slide itself. And you guys are able to see the gray slide on with the relaxed fit Fear of God Essentials pants in dark heather oatmeal, and then also the Fear of God mainline 7th collection sweats in the navy colorway and the gray slide. For me, it's the whole aesthetic, how it looks. You're able to rock it with cuffed sweats. You can rock these with relaxed sweats. You can wear them with slacks. You can wear them with dress pants. You can get away with pretty much anything in the California. I mean, Jerry wore these to the Met Gala and it worked for him. So yeah, I wear them all the time. One thing I noticed when purchasing the Flow Slide, however, and getting them both in the ivory and the gray colorway, I'm not sure if it's a QC issue or just my pair, but they are sized differently. So if you take a look at the ivory versus the gray colorway actually fits a little bit longer. It fits probably more like a 7.5, maybe even close to an 8. Again, I'm not sure if that's just my pair or not, but I wanted to make note of that in case you got two different colorways in and you also noticed a discrepancy in the sizing. Price. I think price is the determining factor of why a lot of people don't go for the Fear of God California. For a single piece of foam, it's $190 retail versus picking up the Flow Slide, it's $49.99. So for a pair that you intend to wear a lot, just slip on, beat up, maybe switch out to a number of different colorways and options, I think the $49.99 absolutely appeals to a lot more people. If it's in your size and you're able to pick these up, you're more likely to go for this. And the reality is no one would really know the difference unless they're paying very close attention to the back, where you have the branding, which is different in terms of saying Saint versus Fear of God California. If you know all the little nuances that I pointed out that are different, then fine. But if you don't, I see the casual consumer going more for the Flow Slide versus the Fear of God California. If you're a purist and you simply want every and anything that comes out by Fear of God, you appreciate all of the little details that actually differentiate this from the Saint Morta Flow Slide, then I totally respect that too. And I can see you chasing these down. Just be aware they are hard to come by in terms of any retailer, and they sell out extremely fast. Like I said, this video was much more about the shoe itself, comparing the California to the Flow Slide. Please comment your thoughts below. Do you intend to test out the Flow Slide if you already have the Californias, or maybe you shied away from the Californias based on the price, and maybe now with them being out of stock in pretty much every single color, whether it's on Unknown, Mr. Porter, Essence, either way, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. So comment those below. When the additional colorway comes in, I'll give you guys a quick look at that as well. And yes, I intend to wear both the California and the Flow Slide. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.